Alright, hello, this is Lance, and today I am going to show you how to do a pre-check before you take off to using your Mahindra tractor. This will be on my own personal tractor, which I bought about last summer from Spearfish Equipment in Spearfish, South Dakota. Alright, and well, here we go. We'll do a pre-checklist. Alright, this is my eMax25, Mahindra eMax25. Open cab, it's the way I wanted it. Anyways, this is your owner's manual. Always refer to your owner's manual for any questions. I'm just going to give you a little quick checklist to go before you start using your tractor every time. I mean every time. Basically, start off by checking your tire pressures, rear and front. Also want to check all your oils, which would be your front differential, your rear hydraulic and hydrostatic oil, and your engine oil. Coolant you don't have to check every time, but just you can do a verification on it. If it's not overheating, it probably doesn't need it. So basically, I start on this side just because first thing you want to do is loosen these on each side of the front guard, because you want to tip your front guard down, and this is different on other models, but on this model and most of them it's pretty similar. The other thing you want to do is, since you're right here, and the reason I start here is because your front differential fluid check is right here. So basically you unscrew it, pull it out, check your little dipstick. You can also look in there with a flashlight with visual check, but as long as you got fluid in, you're good. While you're down here, every time you can do just a visual inspection of your steering and, you know, anything that might have got damaged or anything. But next thing would be to pop the hood. This is also why I start here, because your hood latch is right here. So once you pull that, it releases the hood. And then you can lift your hood up, and that gives you access to the engine. And you can see right here, there's a little deal that sets the hood to hold it up, so you don't have to worry about a clamp. Air filter, you don't have to check that every time unless you're running really dirty conditions. I just visually inspect the fuel filter, make sure there's nothing funky with it. Check everything else. You can see I have an issue that I just noticed. I gotta fix my horn battery. You can check the battery cable connections, make sure they're not have any corrosion or anything. And to check the oil, the engine oil, you want to come to this side on this model. And that's because you need to take this panel off, which just pops out like that, and then pulls out all the grommets on that end. So this piece goes into those grommets. These little clips go onto that little guy and that little guy. So once you have that out of the way, also gives you a good visual inspection from the side of the engine. Now always remember to have your engine warm before you check it. I already did this, so it's ready, but I reach around here. You can do either way, but right there is your little red engine oil dipstick. Pull it completely out. Where's that? Wipe it off, reinsert it. You gotta be careful so you're not bending it or smashing it or anything. And then pull it back out and recheck it, and that's where your level should be good. But I always pull it out, wipe the dipstick off, and then recheck it after that. So next thing will be, while you're right here, you can do a visual inspection of your oil filter, make sure you got no leaks, you know, check your tires, like I said, check your steering, Make sure none of your hydraulics are leaking. Just do a quick walk around. I always do that every time. Now, the rear is a little bit different story. There's a full view of the tractor. Mine's a little harder because I have my counterweight that I rigged up on it, but most of the time you can get right in there. I've got my flashlight. So there is a little inspection hole. You can see right there with the little red dot in it. It's right around all those bolts. Make sure you got fluid in there. If you need to add any, you go here. Most of the time you shouldn't have to unless you have a leak. Also, while you're under the tractor, you can do a quick look for any leaks. I always like to park on the concrete because it's pretty easy to tell if you got any oil leaks. Other than that, make sure your pedals are all good and they're not sticky. Double check your tightness of your bucket control. And if you're going to be driving on the road anywhere, check all your lights before you go. Make sure your slow moving vehicle triangle's there. And that'd be about it. You'll be ready to get some good work done. Alright.